Yes, we are live. Wow. Good evening, Sir Julius Afolabi. Thank you for
Yes,
coming for DIC African podcast. It's good to have you, sir.
it's a pleasure.
Thank you so
It's
much.
a
I'm
pleasure.
happy
How are
to
you
have you
doing?
here. I'm good, sir. I'm great. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring my invite. Thank you. It's good to have you. So this is DIC African podcast. Simply means Deep Inside Conversation. DIC Africa. So it's good to have you here. So today we'll be talking on rebranding, the uniqueness and creativity in you. But before we get started, sir, before you start teaching, because after you teach, I'll be here, you teach, after you're done teaching, and I'll now start asking questions. When I watched that session, this topic you're about to teach, when I watched it, my God, I was crazy. I became something else when I watched that. Was I said I'll bring you here. So my audience will get to know about this thing called rebranding, the uniqueness and creativity in individual. So thank you, sir. So before we get started, I would like you to let us know who you are. Who is Brother Julius Afolabi?
Okay, Julius Afolabi is simply um, a premium business and career optimization coach. Basically, I help skilled and knowledge-based entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants to be able to create business solutions that are compatible, locally compatible, and globally competitive without any form of manipulation or hype. So, and that's what I get paid for with the experience of over 22 years experience, both corporate and in private enterprise, working with small businesses and high net worth individuals, including um, top career professionals. So that's me. I am married to an Igbo princess, and my marriage is blessed with three wonderful kids. My marriage is 14 years this year. So that's me. I love teaching. It's my core passion. I like everything that has to do with excellence and deep conversations like this. And I love kingdom-minded conversations as well. Faith, family, finance, and fulfillment. That's the quadrant of my life. So that's me.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I love this three F: faith, family, and fulfillment. I love the three F's. I love it.
Plus finance.
There's something you said
Yeah,
that caught me. You said, this locally compatible and globally competitive. That thing got me like,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy, like crazy. Wow. Thank you, sir.
yes.
So, this is Brother Julius Afolabi. He will be teaching us on rebranding the uniqueness and creativity in you. So, sir, you have the stage. Let's get started.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. And I would like to say thank you for the privilege again for allowing me to meet the DIC. And I believe that this particular session is going to bring light, understanding, and enlightenment to every single one of us. So I'll just spend the next 30 minutes to open up the conversation. I like it when teaching is question based because that makes it need sensitive and appeals to the fears and concerns of everybody. But in a general term, rebranding your uniqueness and creativity in you. The first thing to understand is that you are a brand that needs to be constantly rebranded. That's the first thing you have to understand, that you are a brand and that needs to be constantly rebranded. And it is a risk for you to remain the same in a changing world. It's a capital risk for you to remain the same in a changing world. So this is the reason why the word rebranding is. And then when I teach, I like to break down what the topic is. So you know that our focus is you. And we want to make you to understand. When I say you, I mean you as a person, you as a business, you as an employee or as a business owner or as a career person. So that's the way I see you. No, I don't just see you as an individual. I see you as everything that you represent. Everything that you represent. That's the way I perceive and I see you. So, and the word rebranding simply means that marketing strategy, the art and the act that keeps you in the heart and the mind of your stakeholders. And your stakeholders could be divided into your customers, your potential customers, your investors, your competitors, and any other defined audience. So that's the canopy of your stakeholders. So everything that you do that keeps you in the mind, that constantly keeps you in the mind and the heart of your stakeholders, is called rebranding. So when we are talking about uniqueness, we're talking about simply the special features in you, everything about you that makes you special. That's uniqueness, right? The good thing about it is that there are no two of your kind. There are no two of your kind. Scientific research has proven that through our thumbprints, through our voices, and our footprints, that no two people have the same footprints, no two people have the same thumbprints, and no two people have the same voice prints. And that's the reason why all detectives at crime scene, accident scene, trying to trace the identity of a person or anything in a particular place, they normally look for specimen that has prints. And that's why if there's an accident scene or there's a robbery scene somewhere and you find forensic, they call it forensic because that's a higher version of scanning the identification of the people or contact with a particular person. So you see it now. So your uniqueness has a forensic appeal in the sense that inside your uniqueness, there is an identity. You understand? There's an identity. So your creativity is simply expression of your uniqueness. While your uniqueness is that art, special features, everything that makes you special, but creativity is the expression of those specialties. You get it now? So that's exactly what happens. So when you get to a fraud scene or an accident scene or any disaster scene, and you want to trace the identity of the people, what you do, you'll be looking for items on the ground. And you take those items, you subject them to forensic scanning. And the forensic scanning will bring out thumbprints or contacts. And that's why when people want to commit crimes, what they do is that they wear a glove. The glove is to cover their prints because they know that no two persons have that particular print. And also, it's for you to understand that your uniqueness equally has a voice, right? So your uniqueness is the voice that speaks in the market. So that's the reason why when we say Dangote, a lot of things begin to shout in our mind. So we trace the name to an identity. Every name carries originality, carries ownership, and carries functional value. That's what a name does. Every name carries ownership, carries originality, carries functional value. So you see, so that's why we say you are a brand, and you find those characteristics also in a brand. You also find that in a brand. You get it? So we're saying that what rebranding is it's a marketing strategy that keeps you at the top of the mind and the heart of your stakeholders. Stakeholders in this sense include your customers, potential customers, existing customers, competitors, investors, and any other defined target audience. That's what rebranding is. So rebranding also is the art of reinvention, right? Reinvention. You are trying to what? Reinvent yourself in order for you to stay above obsolescence. Obsolescence simply means that your brand is impotent. Your brand is existing, but it's no longer active. So you have dormant potency. So you rebrand in order to what? Stay above what? Obsolescence. So there are reasons why do people rebrand? You rebrand when you notice that your mission, your values, and everything like that, they are no longer representing who you are. So you have an identity, right? So you see, so brand is an identity, right? What we call branding most of the time is not branding. A lot of people think branding is decoration. No, branding is not decoration. So you can have a branded manager and you can have a decorated manager, right? So you can have a branded business and you can have a decorated business. Yeah. So branding is not decoration. Branding is not copying, right? It's not copying. It's not rebranding. Is not copying somebody. You understand? Rebranding has to do with your identity and your core essence. Your identity and your core essence. Why am I doing this? Who am I and why am I doing this? So your identity and your core essence. That's about what? Rebranding your branding. Simply means repeated branding. Right? So when we say rebranding, means repeated branding. So you are reinventing your brand. That's what it means. And then when we talk about creativity, we are talking about the arts and the science of creating new ideas, concepts, and solutions from existing ideas, concepts, and solutions, or a combination of them. That's what creativity is, right? So every man is born unique, and the uniqueness sponsors their creativity. So that's why you find out that a fish is unique, and the uniqueness of the fish is what helps is dynamism in water, right? So, and that's the reason why if your unique personality is probably writing, right? You will find dexterity in your writing. Could be poetry, it could be poetic writing, it could be inspirational writing, right? So the writing is the creativity is an expression of your uniqueness, right? That's it. So, and that's the reason why when we say of an existing idea, creativity shows up that what? The art, the acts, and the science of what? Creating, birthing new things from existing ideas, concepts, and solution, or a combination of all of them. So creativity comes from out of the box thinking, right? Comes from your imagination, comes from your originality, comes from your education, comes from what? Your exposure, right? So there's something called research and intelligence risk, right? That's part of what determines your creativity, right? So you just sit down right now. Why should you go to your Facebook profile and decide to rebrand it? Why? Because the moment somebody goes to your Facebook profile, when the first thing they read there is what is your bio. Your bio is a brief description of what you want people to know you for. Then people now begin to check what your posts and your conversations are, whether they actually tally with your bio. So if they don't tally, people say that this person has no identity. We can't match what he's saying with what he professes to say. Do you understand? So your profession is one thing, and then what you identify as is another thing. And that's why rebranding has a pathway. The pathway of rebranding is what? The clarity. You have what? Creative thinking from clarity of identity. That's number one. Creative thinking from clarity of identity. That means knowing who you are and you are creative from that space. Then we now have constructive commitment. When we say constructive commitment, simply means you are defining a purpose. For instance, I said, you asked me, can you tell us about yourself and say, okay, I help skilled and knowledge-based entrepreneurs to create business solutions that are locally compatible and globally competitive and get paid a premium without manipulation. So you can see that now. So there are specifics that qualify what I do, right? And that description is coming from my core values. It's coming from my expertise. It's coming from my researched person. You understand? It's coming from my research person. So you have it like that. So the 3-step pathway to rebranding is, first of all, creative thinking from clarity of identity. Remember, we said rebranding has to do with your identity and your core essence, right? And know it very well. What makes you unique is that there are certain features about you that are special to you, not like anybody, right? Uniqueness simply means everything that is special to you that you offer to others and bring out the specialty in them. For instance, now I'll use my knowledge of rebranding, of your uniqueness and creativity to help you identify what your uniqueness is and how to become creative about your uniqueness. You get it now? So I'm using my own uniqueness to help you see your own uniqueness. That's when there is a connection. You get it? So that's why we said that the first part is what? Creative thinking from clarity of identity. So you will create from the point of your awareness, right? You create from your point of awareness, right? And if you don't ever find your uniqueness, then you are bound to live like an haphazard life. You will live an haphazard life if you can't find your creativity. So the reason why some businesses are not doing well as they should is because they do not actually know who they are and why they are doing what they are doing. Who they are, that's identity. Who they are and why they are doing what they are doing, for who they are doing it. So when you know who you are, then it will determine what you can do. Then you find who you are to serve and how you are to serve them. And who you are to serve and how you are to serve them is going to be based on research on what their own pains and fears and problems are. So that brings us to the third part of rebranding, which is what? Flexible deployment. Flexible deployment. That's to say that you are a one-stop supermarket in the sense that there's only one door to a supermarket. But when you get into the supermarket, you will discover the different departments in that supermarket. So there are a number of things that we can do, but there is a part that gets into us. Like now, people know you as a motivational speaker. But when they know you as a motivational speaker, the moment they come to you for motivation, your motivation is going to speak to different areas and compartments of their life. You are not just going to be motivating them for success. You could be success. You are now the one that is going to define what success means. Either financial success, marital success, business success, career success, and the likes of them. So, and then you'll be drawing, your content will now be channeled in that. That's where your creativity comes in. Can you see now? You have discovered that you are a motivator. Now, how you are going to dispense your motivation is where creativity comes in. Then that's when you now begin to match. You understand? That's when you now begin to match people. Are the people that I want to serve? Then when I now see the people I want to serve, I will now, okay, how have they been served before? What kind of results have they been getting? What kind of result do they want to get now? Then with what I know, how can I help them to get these results? So that's what makes you relevant to them. That's what makes you unique to them. So if what you are giving them is not what they need, then you need rebranding. So you see it now. So you are a person, but you are a bundle of resourcefulness that until you tap and find and discover this resourcefulness, you are just a dormant diamond. Are we together now? So somebody will ask me now, how can I find my uniqueness? Because before I rebrand, I must know what my uniqueness. How can I find my uniqueness? Now, there are three ways in which you can find your uniqueness. And number one, I call them three levels of intelligences that define your uniqueness. Three levels of intelligences that define your uniqueness. Number one is spiritual intelligence. And then number two is scientific intelligence. And then number three is what? Physical intelligence. Physical or spatial intelligence. Now, let me break them down. So if I take number one, which is what? The spiritual intelligence, I'm talking about introspection. This is where we come to the realization that we didn't just fall from the sky, right? We are created. We came through a channel. We were given birth to. And by function of our birth, there are genetic connections that we don't determine by default. They happen by default. So we are a creation from a creator. So from your spiritual intelligence is you engaging this supreme creator, the master creator, which is God, and draw and making inquiry from him. Right? That's where people do prayer of inquiry. Lord, who am I? Because it is God that created us and knows our frame that can define you. He said he knows our frame. In Isaiah 44 verse 24, he said, I'm the one that created you. We are like clays in his hands. Right? So he formed us. He said, before I formed you, I knew you. So God has our details. And he gave us a blueprint, right? Which is the Bible. Remember, we're talking about spiritual intelligence that help you define your uniqueness, right? Remember that you are created unique. God, there is a design, right? You have a design. And your design is what defines your default capacity and give allowance for acquired capacity. Things I hope I'm not talking above anybody's head. Design, that means how God created you. This is how God created you, right? That's your design, your default design, right? Now, in that default design, there are default capacities. That means follow come. Now, while I was working in the bank, there was this guy that is naturally good with electronics, right? Now, he came in as a contract staff. The guy's name is Shitu Ridwan. Now, I came in as a contract staff. Now, we have GMIT, we have all the IT departments. So one of our branches in the bank, I worked in the bank for about 10 years in different aspects of the bank, which gave me everything that I do today are things that I learned from the bank, right? So I'm using my uniqueness plus my experience and training to be able to serve the people that I serve today. So one of the branches had a challenge. It was in Jos. They sent the regional IT to that place. It could not solve the problem. The GMIT, when it became a particular problem, the GMIT, that's the general manager IT, the Oga Patapata in IT, went to that branch, could not resolve that problem. Now this guy is a mere contract staff, a talented contract staff, a genius with just electronics and everything. He didn't learn it anywhere. He just started playing with all these things like that and managed to get a diploma in that line. So you see now he has a certificate, but the certificate, there's a certificate which is the paper qualification. Then there is the certificate, you understand, which is the natural endowment. When this guy got to the scene, within 2 hours, he resolved the problem. What the GMIT, the regional IT, could not resolve in 2 weeks, this guy got there and in 2 hours, he resolved it. So you see, your certificate in school, that's why I wrote a book, Beyond Certificate. Your certificate in school is just a paper qualification. There is another one, there is the practical qualification, which is defined by your performance, right? So what I'm trying to say is that there are times you have to run inquiry with the master creator and he will tell you exactly. And if you're a good student of the Bible, I can assure you, because if Christ saw where it was written concerning him in the Bible, I tell you for sure, without missing words, if you study your Bible very well, right, you will see where it is written concerning you. God is so masterful and is so mindful of you and what he wants you to do, that when you give him attention about who you are, he is ready and willing to communicate it to you in express terms. So nothing could be that defining, right? So that's about finding your uniqueness from what? Spiritual intelligence. The second dimension of it is introspection. Introspection is a careful examination of yourself and your patterns, the patterns in which things have happened to you. You are checking what your talents are, what your giftings are, what your passion is. That's by introspection. You are doing a critical examination and evaluation of your personal self. So that's self-awareness, self-evaluation, and what? That customization. You are finding what is custom to you, right? That's by introspection, apart from the engaging God in the prayer of inquiry, like that, right? So that is it. That's from the spiritual intelligence. Now we come to scientific intelligence. Now, when we come to scientific intelligence of discovering your uniqueness, we have what we call personality assessment, and then we have strength assessment. Now, when we talk about personality assessment, that's where we talk about the Myers-Briggs personality assessment. Now, you find out that in developed world, right, they don't use certificate like we use certificate. That you have a first class is not enough. They will subject you to personality test. When they subject you to personality test, it helps them to define where you are best fit for. So your certificate is not sufficient to convince them, because your certificate is simply a product of, you can be a product of read to pass. Now, but by the time they subject you to personality test, they'll be asking you core questions that your answers tell them more about you than your certificate. So the personality test will define where you are best fit for. And when they are now engaging you, they will take you to that place. So it will now be functioning in on mind on that what the productivity will be at that level. Right? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. The other time, I don't know what happened, but you are back now. I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So you can hear me. I was saying that it's subjected to personality test, and that will help them to be able to identify where you are best suitable. So you see, employment or a vacancy is fitness. When they say employment is a vacancy, right? Your what makes you qualify for that is the fact that you are fit for it. So you see, so qualification is what? Fitness to vacancy. That is qualification, fitness to vacancy. Are we together? So we now have to find out. What exactly you are fit for. So every blank spot, every employment opportunity, they are asking for who fits, because what happens during interview is that they want to validate your fitness for the vacancy. Are we together? Are you following me? And also in the marketplace or in business, when you are selling your product and they are questioning you, right? They want to know how much you know about what you are selling, and they want you to prove the fact that the product can answer their question and solve what their pains are. So that's why they run inquiry. So the same thing. So you see where questioning comes in now. So that's why personality tests are a series of questions that prompts your answering. You are going to answer. You are expected to answer sincerely. And when you answer sincerely, you are expressing your uniqueness. Are you following me? So you are expressing what? Your uniqueness. In answering, you are simply telling what your uniqueness is. So, right? So that's where you have personality test. One of the things that defined what I'm doing today was far back while I just got a job. I did personality test. It was Omega Performance then, and the top ranking, it will give you, after the test, they will give you an option of like 5 different things that you're suitable for. 5 different options with the highest one. So that's what you have said defines you, right? So we have personality. So we have the likes of what MBT, Myers-Briggs test. There are quite a number of them online, and right through personality test. Then number 2 is strength assessment, and that's where you have like strength finder, right? That's what now brings us to your SWOT. What are my strengths, right? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are the things that are threats to me? What are the things that are weaknesses on my own part? Are we together? This is further to accentuate your self-awareness, to make you become, aware of who you are, your personality. That's what it is doing. It is simply helping you to straitjacket your personality, right? Strength finder is one of them. So that is scientific approach, right? Now, there are 2 psychologists, Hamilton and then Joseph Long, that developed what we call the Johari window. Now, the Johari window is one of the psychological tests that showcases the 4 quadrants of your personality. It shows, number 1, the open side of your personality. Number 2, the hidden part of your personality. Then we have also the known and the unknown part of your personality. Are we together? The blind part. It has 4 compartments: the open, the hidden, the blind, and then the unknown. The open is the aspect of you that is known to you and known to others. That has to do with your skills, your attitude, your behavior. Then we have the hidden part. The hidden part has to do with what is hidden to others but known to you, right? Those has to do with what your fears, what your pains are, and the rest of them. Then we have blind, right? The blind part is what is unknown to you. You understand? The blind part is what you don't know but others know about you. Then you have the unknown. The unknown is not known to you and it's known to others. That's yet untapped, right? So the Johari window is another kind of psychological analysis that helps you to be able to know, oh, these are the things people know about me. These are the things that I know but they don't know. These are the things that they know but I don't know. Then these are the things that I don't know and they don't know. So the biggest part of your life is in the ones that people don't know and you don't know but exist. That's the untapped side of you. What you can do that you have not yet done. Are we together? So when you subject yourself to this scientific approach, it gives you a clearer picture of your personality and helps you to know where to function so that you will not be dancing in the dark. You know, you can dance before the blind and you can dance in the dark. If you dance in the dark, nobody will see that you are dancing. If you are dancing before the blind, they can't appreciate your dance. Dancing before the blind is like selling to somebody that does not need what you are selling. They can't see the usefulness in it. Dancing in the dark simply means that what? You are posting, but nobody is seeing what you are saying. Are we together? So these are what the scientific intelligences that can help you identify your uniqueness, right? And it will also, those are the things that will sponsor how creative you are. When you know your strengths, you know what you can play around with, right? You know yourself. For instance, now, one of my basic strengths is in teaching. The moment I stand and I begin to teach, the moment the concept comes, how I'm going to extrapolate it is natural to me. Once I know my audience, I know how to pitch everything to them. And that's why I can afford to read a verse in scripture and I can teach it in the management class and you will never trace it to it. You get it now? So, like now, if we're talking about uniqueness, we're talking about rebranding, talking about creativity. If you look at Eliab and you look at what David, Eliab had the structure, but was not fit. He looked like it, but he was not it. David didn't look like it, but he was it. So you can see it now. And Joseph also carried a potential, that when he was invited into the corridors of power, he had to rebrand himself. So he had to
Yes.
shift.
Yes.
And carry the appearance of royalty into it. Now,
Hmm.
notice something about Joseph. Now, Joseph did not go to Egypt to prosper. Joseph carried prosperity to Egypt. From the first day he landed as a slave, it was recorded that he was prosperous. You see it in Genesis 39 verse 2. So you see it now. So if you are japping, you are not japping to prosper. A lizard in Nigeria will not become an alligator in US. The only thing that US
Yes.
does for you is that it creates an environment for the alligator in you to show forth. That's why you find Nigerians that are third-class students here go there and become first-class students. They were first-class students trapped in a third world calamity. So you see it now. So you see, there was the unknown side of them that manifested by environment. You see it now. So that's the scientific approach. Now when we come to physical intelligence, now it's divided into two. Now that has to do with feedback from others, right? Feedback from others. Feedback. There's something called the 360 degrees feedback, right? That is, you talk to people that you trust. You talk to your mentor, you talk to your friends, you talk to these, you talk to your family members, those that know you very well and are sincere with you. You ask them questions about yourself, and the answers that they give you can guide you, right? That's why as a professional, there are three people that you need in your life. You need a coach, you need a mentor, you need a sponsor, right? A coach helps you to identify and maximize your potential. A mentor helps you to be able to take strategic decisions in your life. And a sponsor is one that speaks for you where you can't talk in the work environment or opportunity ecosystem. That's a sponsor. Somebody that can say a word for you, that can chip in something for you where you are not in the opportunity ecosystem. Say, oh, I know him. Just like a referral system, right? That's exactly how it is. A referral system is like a sponsor, right? That's an unsolicited brand ambassador, because your uniqueness has brought out the uniqueness in that person. The person automatically becomes your brand ambassador, right? He sells you without any cost. So when there is a referral for what you are doing, it is zero costs. You make profit from the first day they mentioned you. So you see it now. So this is the reason why you must rebrand your uniqueness in order for you to be able to appear what in a marketable or a preferred what version. And that has to come from your core. So when we are talking about branding, we are not just talking about the elements. It's not just about your logo. It's not just about the look and feel. They are necessary. But there is a brand there's a brand promise, and there is a brand person. There is the personality of the brand, and there is the promise of the brand. Apart from the elements, the brand elements are the logo, the payoff, all that. Those are look and feel, right? But what generally brings conviction is how you connect with the person. How you connect with the person, and the connection starts from your core values, right? Your core values. And that's why we said rebranding has to do with identification and core essence. Are we together? Identification and core essence, right? So why do people rebrand? Right? Why should you rebrand? Number one, the reason why you rebrand is that you want to create a perception in the heart of the market. There is you want to create a perceived reality. That's number one. Number two, when your mission, your value, what you have been doing no longer represents you, then it is time for you to rebrand. For instance, Joseph was walking out of the prison looking haggard, so he had to do what? Rebrand himself to show forth as a royalty that he is in the palace. And likewise, you have businesses like that. You will see that Pepsi changed their logo, and you find out, ScanDisk and some other brand like that changed their logo. Even Louis Vuitton changed their logo, right? Sometimes to pursue growth, you rebrand to
Even
pursue
MTN
growth.
change their logo.
Yes. So to pursue their logo. So there's a target. Coca-Cola, one time they know that our target audience is young people. Now you will wonder yourself that why will Coca-Cola spend a lot of money to appear for 1 minute in a football match or in the Olympics? Because that is their audience, and they will they will creatively create the advert such that in that 1 minute space, and they always come in the heat of the match. Maybe immediately they score a goal, that's when the ad will come. Do you understand? So it's strategic timing, right? It's strategic timing so that you can't go away. It's the time that you can't go away that they come in.
When they're happy.
Exactly. So you see it now. So that's creativity. So, and that's coming from their uniqueness. You understand? Coca-Cola has no competition anywhere because there is a trade secret. There is a trade secret. If you go to McDonald's and you go to what do you call it, Kentucky Fried Chicken, you will always find out that it's burger, but there's a differentiation. So you see, so branding is how you different. Your uniqueness automatically makes you competition free. It makes you what? Competition free. It helps you to charge as much as you can because you are the only one that creates that specific result. Okay, let's take for instance, look at the TV show like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Now, when you see Frank Edo on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you will think that they customized him for it. You think it was customized for that program. If any other person comes to do that program, you have a hard time fitting in.
Yes.
Do you understand?
You'll be like, who is this one?
So you see it now. Yeah. So you find out that Frank Edo has that the uniqueness, but there's the creativity he brought in to synchronize with that program to make him relevant to that particular
Yes, they brought him again, no. How many they did it?
Yes.
When they want to do it, they said
after many years. Again. After 20 years, they brought him. So that's it. So number 2 is to install and shape what the perception of the market about you. You want to install and shape the perception of the market about you. Remember, number 1 is to create a distinction and match your creative uniqueness. Number 1, you want to create a distinction and match your creative uniqueness. That's it. Imagine that you are the only person selling water in the wilderness. You will not have to do marketing. You see, it's unique. You understand? It's unique. You are the only one selling water in the wilderness. It's unique. You understand me? Okay. So that's what happened. So number 3 is to stay above the risk of obsolescence. You don't want to expire while you are still alive. You know, recently I was studying my Bible and then I got to that point where it said salt is good, but when it loses its value, it will no longer be useful for anything, but it will be trampled under the feet. And immediately I got inspiration that, I got inspiration that, wow, what this scripture is saying is that what? Don't expire while you are still alive. You understand? You understand? Don't expire while you are still useful, right? So you see, so the moment salt loses its taste, that's what happens. When a brand is not commanding the attention they want it to command, they rebrand. You see it now. So you are living above the risk of obsolescence, right? That is that. So number 4 is to pursue growth and brand loyalty. To pursue growth and brand loyalty. Here you can see Apple is the first $1 trillion capitalization company. Why? They have carved a niche for themselves, right? And everybody that carries an Apple or an iPad and everything, they flaunt it. There is this, there's this craze that you are carrying an Apple, you understand? You're not using Android, it's class, kind of. It's class.
You want people to see the logo.
Exactly. So you understand me? Exactly. You should see the Apple. So you see it. Now, so there is an attention that it commands. People want to be identified with that, right? There are some people that if you go to all their gadgets are Apple, nothing else. So to pursue growth, and the more people buy what others buy, I hope you know that. That's a market psychology, right? People buy what others buy. And that's why you find out that influencers are powerful. People will wonder, this person has 100,000 followers. He must be saying something good. Let me follow him too. So people buy what others buy. So you see, so there's a way you position your brand. It becomes a magnet.
Yes.
You understand?
Mm.
First thing to
Mm.
do is you think of what catching attention. Then you now look for what does this say? Do you understand? When you are naming your business, remember very well that the moment you call the name, what does it speak for? Apple is not a fruit to get anywhere. You see the idea? For instance, my company name is Blameless Site. So you see it now. Blameless Site Solutions. Blameless Site Solution Limited. My academy is called Value Improvement Academy. So you see it now. So what does the name say? Remember I said every name has origin, has originality, has ownership, has functional value. Every name has what? So when you are naming, you name it uniquely. You give it a unique name. It's a brand name. You understand? And that's why somebody will say my proprietary system is what? ABC. Like for instance, now in my money management masterclass, there's what I call the MEAT strategy. MEAT. That's unique. It's called money, expansion, action, and task. So if you want to find out what they are, then you have to attend the class. So you see it now. You get it now. So you have brought creativity into your uniqueness. Now, why do I have a money management class? I've worked in the bank for over a decade in different aspects, seeing how money messed up people, how poverty disgraced people, how the only authorized way to get insulted is being poor. Insult is free for a poor person. So that's why you have to find who you are. You have to find your uniqueness. Add creativity to it. Rebrand yourself in a way that puts you in the heart and the mind of people. Let's say, for instance, Collins, look at what you're doing now. You have DIC, deep, intense conversation. It's unique. Now, look at it now. The scope is Africa. And then it is a podcast. You can see it now. You see it now. And I've gone through your channel, your YouTube channel. I've seen a line up of what? Conversations that are very resourceful. So you see, you can have an idea, but your idea needs a platform. And platforms can be a group, can be technology, can be a person. For instance, now, I am a platform as regards this subject. So you are writing on the platform, the idea of podcast, now writing on the platform of the person and using technology. You understand? In making money now, you know that making money has become easier than ever. All you need is a page and a link. That will determine the richness of your reach. Can you see that now? So all you need a page and a link. To get here now, all I needed was a link, right? You get it? So all I needed was a link. And somebody just sat down and created StreamYard, right? And thought that, oh, StreamYard, what that's a platform, right? Now look at Amazon. Why is Amazon very rich? Amazon created family wealth program, since the sense that we are making money, let's also help people make money. So why they are saying they give you opportunity to sell. Exactly.
That's why they're at the top.
So that's it. So while they are making money, they are also creating opportunity for other people to make money on their platform. Can you see it now? So while they are making money from you, they create opportunity for you to also make money. And that's why you upload your book on Amazon for free. You understand? If they market it, they get 70%, you get 70%, they get 30% commission. You are making money, they are making money. They give you a platform for people to know you. You understand? So you don't have to do marketing. They do the marketing and get commission for it.
From there, you become a star. Before you know, be tagged best-selling author.
You get it now. So you see now, without creating that platform for you, your uniqueness will not manifest. So you see it now. So your uniqueness needs timing, needs training for you to be able to rebrand it. The timing has to do with what? Research. You know, I talked about researched what? An intelligent risk. When you are thinking of creativity, you have to think of what? Creativity functions on what? Your imagination. It functions on researched and intelligent risk, in the sense that before you did this now, you went ahead and got StreamYard. You understand? You said, okay, I'm going to get in touch with all these people. You just came and you said, you talked to these people. You did a research and look for specific people, look for specific topics. Do you understand? And say, okay, let's take this risk and do this program. You budgeted yourself, say, okay, within 7 days, this is what I want to achieve. And you took that risk. Can I shock you? If you did not take that step, between 1st of May and 7th of May, they will still exist. May 1 to May 7 will still come and pass. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. But look at, you cannot tell how far and who this content between May 1st and May 7 will reach. You can't tell how
you are
far.
right, sir.
You can't tell
You are right,
who
sir.
it will reach. You cannot
You are
tell
right,
the
sir.
opportunities that it will create for you. You can't
Yes,
tell.
sir. You are right,
So you
sir.
see that your
Yes, sir.
uniqueness creates what? Opportunity for you. So you see, that's why one of the things that rebranding does for you is that it creates what? Meaningful relationship and strategic opportunity. Meaningful relationship and strategic opportunity. That's what your uniqueness does. Because the moment people know what you stand for, they connect with you based on that, and they will refer you based on that. So that's why when I'm defining, for me as a business person, in my business classes, I say, okay, business is a catalog of questions correctly answered. Who is a customer? A customer is one who is satisfied enough to be able to refer you and to confidently repeat buying from you. One who is satisfied enough with your product quality and your service experience to confidently return and happily refer. So you see it now. So you won't find that definition in any textbook. It's customized. And by the time you define the customer like that, the total mind frame of whoever is reading that definition changes about who a customer is. One who is satisfied enough with your product quality, your service experience, to an extent that he will happily return to buy more and confidently refer you. So before you say somebody is a customer, you understand, there has to be that repetition of buying. It has to do with market share and share of wallet. So you see, your uniqueness creates market domination for you. And market domination is about what? Share of wallet and market share. So you see now, Saul was a king over a territory. He had dominion over a territory, right? But David had dominion in the heart of the people. So that's why they said David has killed his 10,000 and Saul 1,000. So you see it now. So you see it now. So you see it now. Online. When we talk about online, Facebook has a large reach. But when we talk about professional, if you want to be professional, if you want to go professionally online, you go to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has domination in the professional space. But when you come to connection and socials, Facebook has the domination. So you can see it now. So domination of the market has to do with your doing uniqueness. So they know they argue. So when you're talking about pictures and what, you go to Instagram. Instagram is also unique in its own. TikTok is unique on its own. So you can see everybody is selling their uniqueness.
Yes.
Yeah, so everybody is selling their uniqueness. So we have been able to establish what rebranding is, what your uniqueness is, what your creativity is, and the fact that you are a brand that needs to be constantly rebranded. If you want to feature in the future, and if you want to remain relevant and significant in the market. right? So a lot of people are bastard copies, right? A bastard copy is you are fake trying to be original, right? We follow other people. We believe in other people so much that we have lost faith in ourselves. So you'll find out that we are running on what? Borrowed identity or pseudo identity. Do you understand? So borrowed identity, you are trying to be like this person. No. You know, they say, follow the footsteps of a man. No. For me, follow the way he thinks so that you can create your own path. If you follow the footstep of a man, if he clean the footstep, what will happen? You are stranded. But if you follow the way he thinks, you can create your own path. That's why somebody will attend a class to understand the process. Then he will apply the process to his own product. You get it now? So you must have your uniqueness. You don't copying another person only makes you live a bastard life. You at best you'll be average. You can't excel without understanding who you are, what your identity, your peculiarities are. Right? There's something I do in my premium achievers class. It's called personal distinction. Personal distinction narrows you down to what are my peculiar gifts, what are my peculiar skills, what are my peculiar stories. That's why if I am teaching this a subject and I tell you my own story, I've customized that concept to my story. Do you understand? So that's what rebranding. Now look at something unique that happened to me while I was in secondary school. Now there is this idea that it's science students that read a lot. Are we together? So and because I had passion for reading, I cannot spend a day without reading. It's not possible. In fact, I can't have any meal without reading. It's not possible. It's not possible at all. It's not possible. Okay, I'm working from my teaching room. If I was working from I would have shown you a glance of my shelf, my bookshelf. My bookshelf is bigger than some bookshops, right? And that's because you cannot give what you don't have. You have to consciously and intentionally invest in yourself to be able to discover who you are. And that's why I said that in your design, there is a window for what? Acquired capacity. There is the default capacity, what you are designed to do. Then there is the training. If God wants to create an aircraft today, he has to look for an engineer. So no matter how you pray, if you don't understand how to write the code to fly a plane, you can never be the choice. If God designed you that you are the one that will do the aircraft, you have to go to school and learn the physics. Okay, we all know the story of R.T. Lotoniel. He was the one that built the earth-moving machines and all the caterpillars. But he didn't build it. But he was the one that will receive, he will receive the description by revelation and now call engineers and draw what he saw for them. When they build it, he will say, no, this is not what I saw. Go and change it. This is what I see. Can you see that now? Can you see it now? So he still has to get somebody that had the training and the expertise to be able to convert his idea into a solution product. That's where creativity comes in. Okay, I shared a particular documentary today. The United Arab Emirates are going for the harvest, their first harvest on a former desert land. A land that was a desert. They now irrigated the land and converted it to a farmland. By what? Science and technology. You get it? So, and it's there inside the Bible. Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Yes, that. And that's there. It's there in Psalms 74, 78, I think verse 19, and thereabout. I say, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? And the people were wondering, say, how would God furnish a table in the wilderness? And the Bible said that they ate. God made it that they ate to their fill. Look at it now. Human beings are brought it to life through science. So God will not change his plan, but he can change the man. God will not change
even
his plan,
Dubai
but he
have
can change
artificial rain now.
So you see it now. So that's it.
Technology.
So, good. So that's technology. So at best, artificial intelligence is artificial. somebody received the idea. A machine cannot replace you. If a machine
Yes.
replaces you, it means that you don't have control over the machine. Everybody's
Exactly.
talking
That's
about
what people are
ChatGPT
afraid
today.
now. People are afraid
Oh,
because of their
so
skills.
if you're afraid of technology, what you have to do is to what? Be in control of that machine. That machine
Because
cannot
human
run
that
on
created
itself.
it.
Yes. So it's the mind of the man. The internet was God's idea. God wants this particular video to reach somebody that is not in your physical location. So, but he needed to convey it through somebody. So no matter what anybody knows, it is just an access God gave to you. You can't boast about anything. That's why I said the spiritual intelligence gives you accurate. It's direct. If you get it from the spiritual, all you have to do is to train yourself. You will be soaring. Are we together? So we have been able to identify all that. So you can see that this is how we rebrand. We have to intentionally work on ourselves to be able to identify our uniqueness and to be able to what communicate and deploy it. Remember, the pathway is that you must, first of all, the first thing to do is not difficult at all. The first thing to do is clarity of identity, creative thinking from clarity of identity. You need clarity, first of all. Then we have constructive commitment. That's where your creativity comes in, right? After you have identified that this is what I'm to do, then you have constructive commitment. Then the third aspect is flexible deployment. You deploy it like this, it's not giving you the result, you change your approach, right? You change your approach. There's a management term called the ikigai. You know the ikigai, right? The ikigai is where you have four compartments too, that has to show you what you're good at, what you do best, what the market needs, and what the market will pay you for. You may be good at something that the market will not pay you. So that's why you have to customize your product to need and solutions. It has to be a solution in solution format. So these are the realities on ground. So you must understand that your brand elements are just vehicles to your brand promise. So your name, your logo, your text, your colors that you design like this is not the reason why people follow you, right? Except somebody that has love for calligraphy. If you see your style of writing, if he's a calligraphic minded person, you say, I like his handwriting, he will follow you because of that. So that's the only way you resonate with that person. But what's your brand promise? Always bear in mind your brand person and your brand promise. Your brand person and your brand promise comes from your values, your system, your structure, your culture, your standard, your principles. So it's basically your identity plus your character. That's what it means. Because when we talk about core excellence, we're talking about your character, right? And your character will come from your value system, your standards, and your principles. Now, when we're talking about identity, we're talking about the traits, things that we know you for. That is your brand core, right? That's your brand core. So we call that branding beyond the elements. That's the way I captured that. So every form of rebranding will first of all catch attention, will generate emotions, and then before you have a magnetic pull. So there's something that I call having a magnetic personality. That is when you now move into creative uniqueness. There's what is called creative uniqueness that makes you a magnetic personality. In management and in leadership, there's something called executive presence. It's a soft skill, right? It has to do with your mindset, your skill set, and your tool set. It talks about your gravitas, how you show yourself when you show up, what you say, how you carry people. You don't need to convince people before they are convinced. In your communication, in your emotional intelligence, in your cultural integration and working with others, you are just a representation of everything that the organization is. It's called executive presence. When somebody enters the room and silence greets everywhere, you just want to listen to that person again and again. So these are soft skills, right? And these are the things, your soft skill can form part of your brand element, right? Oh, the guy is a very good listener. He's humble when you ask him questions, he elaborates, give you that. So those are soft skills. They can also be part of what your rebranding. Oh, he has changed. This is how he does his things, your style and all that. They are part of it. So that is that about rebranding your element. So an individual can rebrand, a business can rebrand, and an organization can rebrand. You understand? You can rebrand to launch a new product. You can rebrand to increase your acceptance and jump your scale, your sales, right? Right. You can rebrand to create a new market frontier. For instance, now, if when Biggie wanted to, they rebranded and introduced some new products, right? Sometimes some organization will rebrand to introduce a new product. As they are rebranding, they will bring in a new product. So you can rebrand to bring in a new product. You can rebrand to create a new market frontier. When you rebrand, you are targeting a new set of people entirely, right? A new set of people entirely. There's a guy called Michael Phelps. Now that guy is a master swimmer. He was a unique athlete. His mantra was beating his old record. He has world record, but his own interpretation of winning is to beat his old record. So he was interested in the better version of himself than the records, than the world record, right? So than the world. So that's how he does it. So he now moved that particular expertise into swimming. He said, now I've made a mark in athletics. I want to go into swimming. Do you understand? So that's like rebranding yourself into a new market frontier. That's why they will know you as a motivational speaker. Now before you know it, you become what? A best-selling author, right? So you have now moved your motivational talk and speaking into what? Authorship, right? So those are, when there's a misalignment in how people see you, people are not seeing you the way you want them to see you. What do? You change your profile. When you go now, somebody will go and change his Facebook profile now because he wants people to see him. You go and wear suits. You go to studio, snap, wear tie, because you want to show that corporate essence and the rest of them. So you are rebranding. Your creativity will come from what? How you solve problems. Creativity is always directed toward solving problems. How do you solve problems? How do you remove fears? How do you remove obstacles? How do you meet the need of the people? And that is what creativity is. So you are a bundle of what? Resourcefulness, but you have to what? Identify. You have to be clear about who you are. You have to be self-aware enough, know exactly who you are. Then you will know where you can dare, what you can dare. Who you are determines what you dare. Yeah. So you don't jump into any market space because you see it is selling. This one is selling. Do you have what it takes to sell there? So rather than going there to go and fumble, find a part of what is selling that is not presently in sale. Find a part of what is selling that is not presently in sale, and then feature there. What you have done is that you have carved a niche for yourself. You become 100% of 10%. That's what it means. So those are the things that I think we need to discuss on this topic. I believe that we have made some good we have been able to make very good progress.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, the way you were speaking, everything was just entering. My book has filled, like, I've written something to about 3 pages now.
Wow.
So I love the way you define rebranding, and I love the way you defined it, because there's something I call, there's a program I did, conference I did last month, May. It's called Reinvention Conference,
Good.
disrupting you for global relevance. So when you now
Wow.
define rebranding as the art of reinvention, I love it. I love that definition. I love that definition. So my first question is this. So what is this out of the box thinking?
The
You spoke
box
about using your
thinking.
imagination.
Okay, out of
Yes.
the box. Yeah, out of the box. Out of the box thinking simply means that you are removing the barriers that people have recognized. People normalize things. There are a lot of trend people normalize. So you don't follow the crowd. Don't be afraid to go the other way. That's what out of the box thinking. Everybody say post every 30 minutes on social media. You say, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to do podcasting every first week of the month. I do podcasting. It's going to bring in 15 speakers. That's the way I want to go. So anybody that knows you will say, first 7 days, just budget it for Collins. You will get massive value. He's going to bring top-notch speakers that you will learn plenty things. You just tie the knots of your life together and your business together. Bam. So you see now, You are different from the man going to Facebook every day to post every 30 minutes, snap picture, everything like that. You have a customized product. So that's out of the box thinking. Out of the box thinking is to solve problem in a unique way that has never been solved before. Somebody decided to say, okay, let's make proper use of our energy, and decided to say, okay, we don't want to use petrol again. Let's start using solar to drive our cars. Let's have keyless. Must you drive? Somebody migrated it from manual to automatic. Now, from automatic, now is keyless. Everything less. Simply disruption. That's just it. Like, was it yesterday or this morning? I was doing something, and I was telling somebody that what disruption is expensive when you are on the receiving side, on the receiving end. If destruction happen and it happened to you, it's very expensive. If you have a business now and all of a sudden somebody brings a superior idea, you are packed up. You have to rebrand.
Yes. If you don't have backup, you'll be packed up.
Yeah, that is just it. So you just pack up, you just go into oblivion. That's just it. So out of the box thinking is that you are not boxed. A box simply means that there is no other way. There's only one way out. These are the known way out. You understand? And most of the time, what fixes people is that people don't understand that sometimes there is the problem of the method and there is the method of the problem. Sometimes your approach might be wrong. Your effort might not be wrong, but your approach might be wrong. Okay, look at this now. A young guy had a recommendation letter from an ex-governor to get a job. Now, this guy showed up for the interview, and when the person that was going to employ him, that's the MD of the place that was going to employ him, being that he was coming, say, who is the person that came from the former governor? He showed up. He said, can I have your CV? He brought out the CV from his back pocket. That's how he lost the job. That's how he lost the job. Why? His problem was what? Approach. He already got the job. But his approach told, he spoke everything about him. And that's all. So, and then there's the method of the problem. That means that there is a way. You understand? There's a way.
You could use a file.
Exactly. You
get an envelope.
There's a way. And what is wrong with even, you don't know that, for instance, now, I live in Calabar. If I want to reach a particular corporate organization, and I don't want to go there myself, I want to package myself, I'll package everything I want to package and I'll send it through DHL in the same town. If it's come through, if there are a lot of protocols, right? And I want to break that barrier, I want to break that protocol that if without being invited, you can't see this person. What you do courier the thing, nicely package it as a DHL. If you have a book that relates to what you want to sell, put the book as a gift and send it to the man that makes the buying decision. What you are doing is you are pressing the hot button. So you see, so I've used that before, right? I needed to get into an organization to do a training. And every time I got to the gate, I was bounced because I didn't know anybody there. So what I did was that, okay, I went and I got the number of the HR person and all that. And I sent a text message, a simple text message, tailoring your soft skill just the same way you tailor make your CV to get a job. Some people make one CV and circulate it. You can't get interview calls like that. You have to customize your CV to the job you are looking for. So I sent a customized test showing figures, showing statistics, and qualitative and quantitative statistics of what I have done in a simple text message. The moment the text message reached the man called me. Said, I got a text message for you that you have done this and have 25% productivity increase over this. Say, can we talk about this? So you jump all those when people are queuing. you are there.
Writing, people are busy writing letters.
Yeah, busy. So that's creative. That's unique creativity.
Out of the box.
So out of the box. So
wow.
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now you spoke about trade secrets
Yeah.
and repeated branding. So I'm
Yeah.
like, do we say that these trade secrets are same as repeated branding? Because you mentioned
No.
two burgers. Okay, let me
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
You mentioned two brands
So when you
that
say
sells
trade,
burger. They have okay, let
yeah.
me hear it. Let me hear it. Okay, let me hear it. Okay, go on, sir.
Okay. When you say trade secret, your trade secret is what makes you different and unique from any other person. That is your customized. For instance, I said there's what we call the meat strategy in the money management class, right? Now it is called money expansion action and task, right? I've told you the meaning of meat, but you don't know the content. Abi? You don't know the content. That content is my trade secret. You get it now? So when you talk about repeated branding, you're talking about that rebranding is not a one-off thing. Without continuous improvement, you will be obsolete. Remember what I said. You cannot afford to remain the same in a changing world. Imagine now, if you are in the university and you graduate with only certificate, you didn't go to school. There are three things you must graduate with. You must graduate with a skill, a business, and then your certificate.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. Can you still hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
You spoke about resourcefulness for
Yeah.
branding. So I want to like ask, what is this resourcefulness?
Okay. Resourcefulness is your education, your experience, your exposure. Three E's: your education, your experience, your exposure. Your resourcefulness is the totality of your skill, knowledge, behavior that makes you magnetic to an opportunity. That's why they call them resource person. They have the wealth of knowledge, they have the resonating experience, and they have the expertise that can communicate the value and the solution that is intended for the target audience. So it's a wealth of knowledge, just like when you say a body of knowledge. When somebody is a professor in a particular area, you look at that person as a resource person. The professorship means he knows nearly everything about that thing. You get it now?
Yes,
So
yes,
a
it's
lot
more
of
advanced.
people, exactly. So it's like that person is the go-to person in that area. This person is well grounded in this particular thing. That's resourcefulness. The quality and the quantity of your knowledge, your wealth of experience. Do you understand? The palpability of what you communicate, right? Those are the things, right? So imagine JJ Okocha on a football pitch. If it is not even to score, it will entertain you. Are we together? So like that. So other players like that, when they are on the pitch, they make a difference. They are being on the pitch itself is an intimidation for them. There are times when such players have injury, but they will still feature them because they just to cause distraction. They still feature them. So that's what that means. So knowing fully well that your uniqueness has benefits, it makes you stand out. Your uniqueness makes you stand out. You will just stand out, right? Those are the pillars of your resourcefulness, right? Because your resourcefulness is what makes you unique among all. You understand? So that's it.
Wow, thank you, sir. Sir, you measure three levels of intelligence. Number one is spiritual
Yes.
intelligence, scientific intelligence,
Yes.
and strength assessment.
Yeah.
And now I can see the one
Yeah.
that is very easy for me and anybody to do is scientific
Yeah.
intelligence and strength assessment. But this spiritual intelligence is the one that is more tough, hard, and something. So I'm not asking, what of a person that is not a Christian, maybe is a Buddhist or a Muslim or any other
Good.
religion or whatever they believe?
Good.
So what would they do to access this
Good.
spiritual intelligence?
Good. Is that as a man thinketh in his heart, so it is. Right? That's biblical, that's philosophy, that's philosophical as well. Right? Now, somebody that's, when we talk about spiritual intelligence and somebody that is not a Christian or does not believe in the Bible, they practice what is called mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation is a concentration on your inner being. It happens in solitude. You find a quiet place where you are blind to distraction. You are completely concentrated and immersed on your internal being. You know, there are some people that their internal being is called environment. I-N, the environment. There is environment and there is environment, right? So that's why the same way you have IGR. You know, IGR is what? Internally generated what? Revenue, Abi?
Yeah.
IGR, Abi? There's also what we call internally generated resourcefulness. IGR too.
Wow.
It happens internally generated resourcefulness. That is creativity happening from the core of your originality, of your origin. That's why, okay, look at I'm sure you know this Sahad Guru.
Yeah. The Indian man.
The Indian man. The Indian man. The quotes, the sentences that become principles, life principles for generations that he has made came out of what? Mindfulness and meditation. Yoga is mindfulness and meditation. Are we
Personal.
together?
Personal.
Personal. You know, those are the things. You see, this either spiritual intelligence, mindfulness, and meditation, what they do is that they can turn a person to an institution. Let's take, for instance, now, look at Franklin Covey and Steve Covey. Look at this man, Peter Drucker. You can't talk about management without referring to certain statements.
Number one.
You get it? You cannot talk about management without referring to that guy by virtue of a particular sentence that he made. That sentence came from depth and depth of meditation on a particular subject. I tell people that marriage is customized experience. That's heavy. It's coming from a total wealth of research, from conversations, from counseling, from books. Before I arrive at that, it's custom, whether you like it or not. It's customized experience in the sense that you and your spouse from different origins have different worldview, unique. The only thing that helps the two of you to move together is agreement, a concept called agreement. And the agreement has to come from a place of compatibility. The readiness to sacrifice an aspect of you and submit an aspect of you.
Must align together.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice an aspect of you and submit an aspect of you. Right? It's about trade secrets and trade-off. There are things that you have to sacrifice. There are things that you have to customize. You have to learn. So it's coming from a wealth of what meditation. So, and there are other things. I have other illustrations like that are customized to me. I gave you the definition of what a customer is to me. That's coming from a lot of things put together. Right? I just told you now, I said you are a brand that needs to be constantly rebranded. You won't find that in a book. You won't find that in a book. So this is how it happens.
Yes.
You get it? And that's how products are created too. You just sit down and look at a product. Remember, we said creativity is you are the act, and the science of what? Batting new ideas, concepts, and solutions from existing ones, or a combination of all of them. Now you find out that if you can book online for road transport. Can you see that? Just the combination of ideas. You book online for air, but you're traveling on road, you book online. You even board, you take your body pass, you just walk straight and enter the plane and go. Somebody's thinking.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's why the elasticity of whatever you do, if you write an article now and post it on the internet, the lifespan of the originality of that thing is a matter of hours, no longer weeks. In a matter of hours, somebody will improve on it. That's what is called innovation. Innovation is improving on an existing idea. That's it. So that's it. So, okay, this morning now, I posted something on my wall that the future is not going to be about technology, but it's going to be about values. Somebody asked me, expatiate. I said, well, is it going to be about creative improvement or destructive innovation? When we say values determine the degree of creative improvement and destructive innovation. Can you see that now? Destructive innovation. Can you see it now? So when I create a robot that can destroy a thousand people at once, that looks like a fly, just to inject virus, what is that? That's destructive innovation. What about creative improvement? Oh, we can all go to the space, and I can decide to have my wedding in the space and be a legend. Elon Musk say, okay, I'll give you the opportunity. Look at Amazon, have their inverters under the Arctic Ocean. Imagine that. So you're wondering why your Gmail, they gave you 15, whether it's 15 gig free or 50 gig free. You're wondering, what type of capacity does people have? Because their inverter that is carrying the large capacity of data is under the Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean, the coolest part of what? The earth. That is, so somebody took risk to go and bury the inverter there. Will it be hot? Will it ever be hot?
No.
So
Wow.
I just told you about UAE now. Somebody just look at the desert and say, no. If you know what went into the first, the largest airport, if you know what went into its construction, when I was looking at the documentary, you will know that the human mind is something else. Your mind is as powerful as you make it. It's as powerful as you make it. The moment you engage it, it's like a muscle. The more you stretch it, the bigger it becomes. The moment you can think, if you can imagine something, the thing is possible. The thing is in existence.
Exactly. That's what Mohammed bin Rashid said.
Yes. So if you can imagine that thing is in existence. So that's it. So vision is imagined reality. So all you have to do is to take steps to pull that. You do reverse engineering, do destination thinking, and bring it to pass. That's why vision governs behavior. If you have vision, there's a way you will not behave. You can't be behaving anyhow when you know where you're going to. It's destination thinking. You can't afford to live your life anyhow because you know there's a picture you have painted for yourself. You painted the picture so vividly that when you arrive there, you will not be surprised because you saw it before it existed.
Yes, you will not be surprised. Yes. Wow. This is indeed deep insight conversation.
So now you
I
can
know
see
what
that.
I was saying. I'm not surprised.
So you see it now. You see now that the uniqueness that I carry, I have creatively dispensed to help you see your uniqueness. So you see, the topic has explained itself, even to you. So the conversation has become so deep that it is attesting to the name of the brand.
Yes, people don't even know why I started this deep inside conversation. Just because normally, if you not tell me to, I started advising from secondary school. Cause I know I've not gone to university. I'm just a O-level graduate. I repeated SS2. I did 4 years instead of 3 years. I failed many times, but I noticed one thing that I'm too good at. I love advising, and my advice for people that take it. So people tell me, Collins, you speak with so much deep insight. In fact, just this one advice, I've answered all the 10 questions I have to ask. I don't need to ask again. So they tell me you speak with so much insight, deep insight. And I'm like, okay, I'll create something. I'll be doing a program that I'll be calling Deep Insight Conversation, which will make concept with. But later, now, this should not be only about me. Let me invite people. Let it be deep inside between me and others. So when they come, they're able to resonate with me and my message, and everything will work out. And now we are doing it.
Yes.
From there, I'll build a community around it. DIC
Yes.
Africa.
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
And you know, you already have a stock. You know, there's this guy called Dom Lee. Dom Lee podcasted for 2,000 days straight. 2,000 days consistently straight to emerge number one. You know, the value of what you're doing now, all these conversations, they remain treasures for as long as YouTube lives. Somebody will come 5 years and find this particular conversation relevant to his problem. Why? Because life is a circle. As one generation is going, another generation is coming. And the moment your conversation is based on fundamentals, it will always be relevant. Jim Rohn taught me something. He said, if you're investing in learning, invest in two things, life and people. It will never expire. So I built my development, I equip myself on things that have to do with people and have to do with life. They will never go out of fashion. For instance, now if somebody is talking about money, money will never go out of discussion. If you talk about marriage, marriage will never go out of discussion. If you talk about family, family will never go out. If you talk about business, business will never go out of fashion. Yet there are businesses that will never die. Do you understand? One day I was reading the scriptures and I got to Matthew, right? And he said, don't take no thoughts for things you would wear, things you would eat, what you will wear. Those are the things that will never go out of fashion. So businesses built around those things will never go out of fashion. So you see, so in my Premium Result Masterclass, I teach that the 5 businesses that will never go out of fashion. Businesses built around what people eat, what people wear. You understand? That's why you see the fashion industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The food business is a multi-billion-dollar. I was talking to somebody that today I had a session with one of my mastermind people. He is talking about global agriculture. You need to see the vision. Men are thinking. So that's exactly how it is. So you have built resourcefulness now that is going to run ahead of you. Is running ahead of you already. Because there are a lot of people that may never meet me, but they will meet me through this conversation. So you get it? They will meet me through this conversation. There are companies that will discover you through this conversation. Somebody will go there and just share it, and somebody will listen to it. Somebody can have a problem that this is his problem, and it will just stumble. Hasn't it happened to you before? You just stumble on a particular video on YouTube and it solves your problem.
Yes, yes. Before you know, you go and search about the person and you start following the person.
Exactly. So that's how it is.
How did I get to know about you? Let me shock you how I got to know about you. It was through Joseph 18.
Okay.
You spoke in his program when nobody was there. Nobody was saying,
Yeah.
I love your station. I love this man's station. I was like, who is this man self? I want to know him. That was how I got to know you. I watched the video on YouTube. I followed you on Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. And I said, I will bring you here. And at last, we did it.
So that's the power of social media.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
Wow. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Wow. Thank you. I didn't even know I was even doing well until now.
No,
So just an idea.
No. Yeah.
Thank you.
They say
thank you, sir.
A breakthrough is an idea whose time has come. All you need to do now is to draw traffic to the resourcefulness that is here. You just sit down and just listen to one of the video sessions and bring out certain points from it, post it randomly, and direct them to more of it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Direct them. If you want to get the complete version about this particular session, you put the link there. That's all. On your WhatsApp status, on your Messenger status, just put it. Before you know it, traffic one day. So if you create it as a system, right? Because this is part of what I teach, building systems. If you create it as a system where probably on a daily basis, or you have a particular day, which is your marketing days, right? On that day, you are going to look for one particular video that addresses a particular problem. All you need to do is to describe that problem, put the possible solution, put the link. Simple. And share it on all your status. So the moment you are able to describe the problem, for instance, now somebody say, are you confused about your uniqueness or trying to find out how your uniqueness can influence your business or this? Then this is what you must do. There are 3 levels of intelligences that could help you find it out. Click here for more. Person comes to the conversation. If there's another topic like that, you pick another one like that. So you can roll them over like that. Just small bites like that. And then before you know it, you get subscribers. And then when you're doing your new session, you build a community around it. In fact, you can use any of the conversations here as a lead magnet. As a lead magnet, I have a gift for you. Do you know how you can rebrand your uniqueness and creativity in yourself, on your business? The person will say, how? You say, okay, you sign up, you get email address, you get them, and then you can use it as a lead magnet.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Like you said, about system and distribution, I did that with my, I did an invention conference last month. So I started with the panelists. There's a post I made about that. That was yesterday. So she read it, she commented, because I used her story, just like the way you said everything. I did it and I posted. Her name is the energetic Ejiro Osade. Okay. So I now post it. People love it. She also commented that, I wish my second phone is there. I would have read that comment. I would have read that comment. So she said something good. So, and that's what I will do to all the speakers, the
Before
panelists.
you know, people will start follow.
Yeah.
Follow.
Even this podcast, I'll do so to all the podcasts, all the sessions. I'll find one thing and just use it and create content.
And once you do that, now measure your following. Measure the traffic. Measure those who join the DIC group. Right? So you can always create content in the DIC group with these resources.
Yeah.
Just listen to one of them, create content on it, keep the place environment. You understand?
Exactly. Like now, I'm a content back. I don't like content again because I already have content with all of these podcasts. So, just for me to have time and sit down and write. I don't like content.
So that's what you can do. And if writing is big difficult. You look for one of the AI tools that can convert videos to text, and they convert videos to text. That is it. And from there, you even you yourself can sit down and can have an ebook. You can pack it together. Okay, look at what do you call it? What do you call it? Chicken for the Soup series by Mark Hansen. It's just a collection of stories, but statistics has it that it has sold over 500 million copies today. Just a collection of stories. So imagine that you say deep inside conversation, right? And you transcribe all these videos into text and edit it and put them together with all the table of content will be all the topic, and you offer it as an ebook. Do you understand? You offer it as an ebook, maybe just for $5. Hello, just for $5.
It's going to bless a lot of life.
You do it. It do not. You see, it will bless a lot of life. It will bless you too. And it gives you legacy. You have something to hold for your effort. Money is a reward for effort.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
So you see it.
Thank you, sir. Wow, we are close to 2 hours. 1 hour, 41 minutes, 14 seconds. God. This is the longest ever.
A fish inside water is never tired.
I thought.
Never tired.
I was even surprised when you said I'm a motivator. I was like, how did you even know? And now, this is driving to my next question now. You now said, oh, flexible deployment dispense creativity. And I was like, how did you know? You now said, is it about money? You teach about money because you're a motivator. You're a success coach. You just say, okay, I have to be successful in marriage. I have to be successful about managing money. I have to be with that. I was like, I'm also very surprised you told me you went to my YouTube channel to check my video. You saw resourceful stuff. I was like,
of course.
And I got a lesson from that. I'll make a post about that later. Wow. So this is my next question. This is my next question. You talk about flexible deployment and dispense creativity. So how do people know, like, now let's say for me, for example, that I'm a success coach, a motivator. I can make people do things, just take risk. I'm very dogged. I have a dogged spirit. I'm relentless in fact, I'm obsessed with winning. So how do I create this flexible deployment and dispense creativity? By channeling all my, you understand my question, right? So let me see.
Let's use you as a business case. You are a motivator and a success coach, right? You know your core personality, your core traits. You just mentioned something now. You say you are obsessed with winning, right? You know that's a book already. Obsessed to win. And all you're going to simply write in that book is simply how to be courageous to take risk. And you are going to be telling the stories of the risk that you took and the success you got. Get other people's stories, success stories from the risks that they took. Now create maybe 5 steps to using obsession to win in life. So what was the first step you take? Know exactly what you want. Step number 2, know who you want to serve. Step number 3, create what is schedule of what must be done. Do you understand? So what are you doing? You are being creative with your uniqueness, and you are now deploying it in a flexible format. You can decide to write a book. You can decide to create a coaching class. Do you know, from the bank of this your resourcefulness now, you can sit down and create counseling sessions, making the best decisions for your life. That's it. Your counseling sessions could be just what? Making decision, getting it done. That is it. So if you're afraid, right? Your coaching session is to help people delete their fear and win their potential. Those are the things. So you build concepts.
Even make them do it afraid. Because some people cannot even delete it completely. They will do it afraid. So either they will fail or win. They must do it anyway.
So you can create a challenge. you can do a challenge. 5 days challenge to do what you have not done before. 5K. People say, what is the thing that you have not done before that I want to do now? Oh, I've always wanted to start a podcast with this guy. So you see what I'm saying now? Now, we are not just discussing this now. Even you that is in deep conversation, you're getting convolution of ideas.
Yes.
So every time somebody sits down under your voice, you don't only solve their problem, you give them task on their mind, challenge their thinking, challenge their potential to go out there, take themselves out of where they have been. That is what keeps you as top of the mind.
Yes, sir. Let me come into this place.
Yes.
Sir, I used to say to myself, what have I not do today? Because why is it that, like, now if I have fear, there's some people I could not message before. I could not message them. Like, even to message you yourself is a problem. if it was the version of me before, when I've not reinvented myself. So there's people like, how did you bring the speaker? Elisha Mama, me say, how did you? Because I took the risk to just message them and just do it. Even if they reject me, I have no problem. Maybe, okay, next time they will accept me. So some people don't know that I can just come inside. As long as your inbox is not locked, no padlock. If I message you, will see it. So I just took the risk anyway, and I know what I can write. I know what I want to do. I have clarity. So I go there and say, sir, this is what I want to do. Would you mind, please, just spend 1 hour with me? I said 1 hour, now we are going 2 hours. Because a fish will not lose strength. In the place he finds his strength. This is place of potential. I took the risk. I can talk to Janobidi. In fact, I'm already talking to Janobidi. People like that. I took the risk.
It's worth it. There's a book called The Power of No. When I read that book, I knew that, well, you can get 1,000 no before you get a yes. But what that 1,000 no simply means is that it was the 1,000, the yes that you got. That is the worth of the yes. The worth of the yes is the 1,000 no's. Right? And even Jim Rohn said that if you want to increase, if you want to grow, count your number of no's. If you want to sell now, if you're selling an item, and maybe you take this phone now, and you advertise for 3 people. 2 people said no. 1 person said yes. You say increase your no by 10%. So tomorrow now, you say, I want to have 6 no's. That means you have to talk to more than 6 people. So if you increase your no, you can increase your sales.
Wow, I would like to read that book. The Power of No. Who wrote the books? I'll find it.
The Power of No. Power of No.
So do you remember the author's name?
No, I can't remember the author's name. But once you just put The Power of No, that's the title. The Power of No.
Okay, no problem. I'll find it.
Yes, the book is black like that. Yes.
And as I was messaging speakers for my reinvention conference, and exactly what you said now. If people tell you that means you have to increase the number of no's. So when I was doing reinvention conference, in fact, for the first 5 days, nobody accepted. I'm like, listen now. Why is it like this now? And I have to say, okay, one day I'll message like 6 people, 10 people. So I have to message many people one day. I continue. I'll say, okay. That was how I have 15. Reinvention conference was like 16 speakers. And that's okay. If these people tell me yes, and in fact, if everybody tell me yes, then I will brief some people for reinvention conference. Then the other people will be for DIC podcast. I will use them for other projects. And at last, some people tell me, you pay me 100 times for 1 hour. People told me like that, 100 times for 1 hour. Somebody told me 100 times for 1 hour. That's our value. And I said, okay, I cannot afford it now. No problem. Maybe some other time when I've reached that level. And I left, I met other person. Even people that agreed to come, let me not compare, but let me just say, they are even more than the person that is even telling me 100,000. So I mean, we know that person.
That's
because I took the risk. I took the risk. And I did it. So that's it.
So congratulations.
I have to tell you, thank you, sir. I'll ask you this last question.
Okay,
Because we stay here for another Tomorrow, question will not finish. You spent 2 hours.
Yeah.
I said something when I made that post. I say great leaders ask great questions. And I think
Yes.
I'm doing that
Yes.
by asking great questions. Yeah. I thank God for that grace. Because it's because I'm
So,
hungry enough. I'm so hungry.
yes,
I'm so
you
hungry.
have to be hungry.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask this last question so we leave.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You define business as a catalog of questions, correct answers. So I want to know
Yes.
why you said that.
Yes. Business is a catalog of questions correctly answered. You can't start a business without asking questions because question is 50% solution. The right question is what leads to the right answer. So before you start any business, what you first ask, what business am I going to do? If you answer that correctly, okay, how am I going to do the business? Yes, who are the people that are buying? So you can see, as you begin to ask yourself those questions and you are getting the answers, what you are getting is you are getting clarity on how successful that business is going to be. The moment you get stuck and you can't answer a particular question, it becomes a problem. So that's why business is a catalog of questions correctly answered. Every business is answering a question. So that's exactly how it is. That's why it's defined as what a catalog of questions correctly. You can't get to anywhere without having, nobody gets to a destination without a map. So you have to constantly keep asking questions, editing whatever it is that you have gotten, finding it. Oh, if I do it like this, what will happen? If I do it like this, what will happen? If I do it like this, what will happen? If I do it like this, what will happen? If I do it like this, what will happen? So as you continue to ask questions, you'll be advancing, you'll be moving forward. So questions are what opens us. That's why we have close-ended questions and open-ended questions. If you ask a customer close-ended questions, you might not make a sale. But if you ask a customer open-ended question, the customer begins to vomit everything about him, and then you will know where to sell. Like during, if I'm doing interview for new hires, I ask a question, and if I ask you a question, when you're answering me, I know the kind of candidate that you are. Open-ended questions. So okay, one of the questions, I had my phone, I give it, supposed to be a customer service person. I say, okay, take this phone. How will you sell this phone? The first thing the lady did was to check the make of the phone, check the power, check the speed, check everything. Understand? All that already told me that the girl was good to go. Was good to go. So by the time she knows all that, well, she said, okay, this is a Redmi X Pro Max. This is it. The picture quality is superior. It has a battery life. So she mentioned the important things that anyone will look for in a phone. And that's what creates comfort for the person to buy. That's what makes the person comfortable to buy. So that's it. So she's going to be a good salesperson. She can demystify what the customer wants, do need analysis, and then know what to say. She knows what to sell. She's not going to be selling features. So it's people that rebrand, that think that their brand elements, their picture, because your picture fine. No. Mm-mm. You understand? If you are not having these conversations with me now, you will not say, no, the man has some very deep insight like that. So until you ask question for you know like that. So that's it. So you don't judge people by the cover. You have to probe it. You have to probe the content to validate what you're saying. So that's it. That's why it is. That's why I define it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, boss. Thank you,
Yeah.
King Julius Afolabi. We have come to
Yes.
an end of this session. God bless you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you for showing up for me. I am your
Thank
humble
you
boy. We
so
will
much.
do more together in the future. I know I'm
Um,
a billionaire and I will definitely become it in cash. We
wow, no,
will
don't
do
worry.
more together,
Don't worry.
sir.
That one is settled already. You are already on the millionaire fast lane. Yeah. You're already on the
Thank you,
millennium fast
sir.
lane.
God bless you.
Yeah. It's all right.
Thank you. My regards
All
to your
right.
family.
I
Thank
sure will.
you. To have a listener. Bye.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, we've come to an end of this session. Thank you for watching. Thank you. If you've gained something and you've learned, comment on this video. Share this video with somebody so they're able to rebrand the uniqueness and creativity in them. Thank you. I love you. I am the success soldier, Ume Collins Ebube. God bless you and goodbye. I'll be ending this session now. We did close to 2 hours straight. Thank you. I love you. Peace.